Enjoy live interviews and solo sessions with experts in business and health, featuring your host, Dr. Alex Rosa. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome to In Your Business with Dr. Alex, where we get all up in your business and your health. Enjoy live interviews and solo sessions with experts in business and health, featuring your host, Dr. Alex Rosa. Let's get into today's episode.
Welcome to today's show. My name is Dr. Alex, and we're about to get all up in your business. And actually, my business is what we're going to get all up in today. So we're going to be talking about women over 40, our health and body positivity. We're about to get real today because I'm going to share about my own personal beliefs, my own personal transformation, allow you to get to know me a little bit better through today's episode. And if this is the first time that you are catching me, welcome. My name is Dr. Alex Rosa. I'm the founder and creator of Spice and the 90-Day Metabolic Makeover, and I'm an expert in all things intermittent fasting and metabolic health. And today I really wanted to share more about me and my health transformation and kind of my beliefs around health and what it really is. And specifically, I do want to talk about body positivity and weight loss in particular, because so many women come to me, message me, follow me for weight loss advice. And that's wonderful. That's great. But, you know, the number on a scale is just a number. It's just a number on a scale. It's just a data point. There's so much more that defines health than just the number on the scale. And I really want to get into that today and dive a little bit deeper into that because, you know, recently I've had people messaging me about, I want a quick fix, I want a quick win, I want to lose 10 pounds, I want to lose this. And, you know, my whole belief is building a lifestyle around your health and longevity and quality of life. And especially as a woman who is 41 now, you know, our bodies are changing, our hormones are changing, you know, things that we used to do back in our 20s, the crash diets, all the things, honey, because I've been there. That shit does not work when you are in your 40s. And you're actually doing yourself so much more harm by trying to do these crash yo-yo diet things, these just insane things to get that quick fix, to get that little win. We're harming ourselves so much more than if we were to have like high blood pressure, diabetes or something. This yo-yo, this up and down, this intense stress on your body that you're doing by these yo-yo diets and these crash and I'm going to do liquid and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Just that back and forth puts your body under so much stress, and not the good kind of stress, bad kind of stress that can be harmful for you. So I'm more in it for the long term, right? The long game. I want to be around for a long time. So I look at longevity and quality of life. And so the things that I teach my clients is more of what can you do that can be for the long term, that can be sustainable for yourself. And when I think about myself and my health, you know, I may not be that number on the scale that when you go to a traditional doctor's office, you know, they've got the chart up there with the BMIs and the weights. And honey, I would never look at that because I'd always be in the red and everything. And, you know, it's numbers, honestly. And like my husband lost like almost 100 pounds. And when I look at the scale for him, like when I look at that chart for him, according to his height and the weight that he would be like in the green in, my God, when my husband started to lose, he got very, very thin at one point. And he actually kind of had to scale back because he did not like the way that he was looking. And I actually even had to tell him, I'm gonna get super real here. Like I physically am attracted to a bigger type of guy. I like them tall, I like them big. I really don't like a skinnier, bony type of guy. If you do, that's you. But for me, I don't. And so when I first met my husband, well, we both were extremely overweight when we met each other. We met each other way back in the 90s, honey. We started dating in 1999 and have been together ever since, 3 kids later. So we've been together for the long term. We've been with each other at our heaviest when we started out, and we've been together at our lowest. And then we've both have kind of evened out now to where we feel comfortable. But I looked at him and I was like, Robert, if you got down to this weight that they want you to be at, you would be like sickly thin. Like, I don't even know if I would be attractive to you. And like, we got that kind of relationship, honey. Well, we've been together for 20 some years. I'd hope we have a very open relationship where we can talk like that to each other. And I straight up told him, and he agreed, though. He did agree because he didn't even like the way he started to look. He felt that it was a little bit too thin, a little bit too emaciated looking. But according to the chart, that's where he should have been. And same thing for me. As a woman, I'm a Latina and I've always had curves. But even when I was growing up and younger, I was curvy, but I also started gaining weight a lot and not in good places. And so now, as I'm older and into my 40s, like I love having curves, honey. I love having boobs. I love having hips. I love a butt. Like, I like having curves for myself. I love that more curvy shape. And if I were to follow the BMI chart for myself, honey, no, I would not. No, I would not like what I would look like. I would not be happy. I would not feel comfortable at that weight that they have set out for me on that chart. So for me, when I'm guiding clients and when they come to me and I want to lose X amount of pounds, I want to do this, I have to balance that with reality and really think about, well, do they even have a good relationship with themselves to kind of know what would be appropriate for them and what they would look like at that weight? And I always caution clients, I'm like, well, let's kind of start here and then we'll see how you look and how you feel about the way you look, and we'll let that guide us. And it's more about the feeling and how you feel comfortable. And that's why I kind of bring the body positivity element into it as well, because, body positivity, I'm all for body positivity. But where I come to not a disagreement, but where I come to, I don't even know what to call it, honestly, with the whole body positivity thing is that if you're somebody who is pre-diabetic, type 2 diabetic, high blood pressure, about to have a stroke, your joints are worn to the bone in your knees because you're so heavy and carrying so much weight. If your ass can't breathe going up a flight of stairs, if you can't fit into narrow hallways, if you can't fit into chairs when you go to the movie theater or you go to a restaurant, like so much shit like that. If you're at a size like that, there's a problem. That is not healthy. Can you love yourself at that size and have a good positive body image? Yes. But are you healthy? No. And I think there's a lot of that out there in social media where people are promoting a bigger physique, being overweight, being very unhealthy, and saying, well, if you don't like that, then, oh, well, you're not body positive and you're hating on me and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, bitch, I want you to fucking live. I want your heart to be able to pump blood to the rest of your body and not give out from congestive heart failure. I don't want your ass to have diabetes and get your toes amputated. I don't want you to have to go get a double knee replacement at the age of 30. I do not want that shit for you. I do not want to take care of you in the cardiac ICU because you are going to have open heart surgery because you're extremely overweight. You're only 20 some years old. And then I have to watch your ass have a FaceTime with your 3-year-old at home telling them, well, mommy might not make it home tomorrow morning because I got to have surgery. When all of that shit could have been prevented, it's all prevention. It's all lifestyle, all by the choices that you've made. And that's where I have an issue with the whole body positivity thing. So for me, I like being curvy, I like having a shape, but I also like being healthy. I also like being strong. I like lifting weights. I like being able to go up and down the stairs. I like being able to fucking bend down. I like to be able to drop it like it's hot. I absolutely do. I love wearing clothes that show off my curves. I love not being pre-diabetic anymore. I love not having high blood pressure anymore. I love not being on 3 medications for my blood pressure. I like not having heart failure like how I did before. I like my joints not hurting. I like to not have a bunch of inflammation and feeling achy and sore and fucking tired all the time. I love that feeling more now as I am. And that is the thing that I want to stress to people. I might not look like fucking shredded, about to be on the cover of a magazine or any of this other stuff, but that's not what I'm here to do. And that's not the things that I teach my clients, right? So if you're trying to be a bodybuilder or you're trying to get on the cover of a magazine, honey, I'm not the person to see. But if you are somebody who has diabetes running in their family, everybody in your family is overweight, on blood pressure medications, super sick, then I'm the person for you if you don't want to be that for yourself. If you've finally like reached the age and be like, shit, I need to get my shit together because I'm 40 years old and my body's changing and I got kids to take care of. I might be taking care of my parents. I need to have the energy. I need to stick around because if I don't, who's going to take care of all these responsibilities for me? Who's going to take care of my parents? Who's going to take care of my kids if I can't do that for myself? Who's going to run my business? Who's going to teach my classes? That's the type of woman that I'm here for, to help, to serve, to change their life. You got high blood pressure, pre-diabetes, high cholesterol. If you got some weight that you know that you need to lose, right? Again, I'm not trying to make anybody look like a model over here. I'm trying to get you off of your medication. I'm trying to help you decrease inflammation so that you don't have a heart, or so that you don't have a heart attack, so that your kidneys don't shut down and you need to go get dialysis. Those are the things that I'm teaching you how to do. And that is more of the long term, right? That's the long game. That's the lifestyle. That is what I teach people how to do, because that's the shit that I did for myself. That is how I saved my life. Because if I didn't, I'd be type 2 diabetic, honey, right now, doing insulin, doing pills, doing all the things. I would have, who even knows, maybe I would have got a pacemaker at this point because my heart failure was so bad. I've taken care of plenty of pacemaker patients in my life. Probably would have had to get a pacemaker, probably getting heart casts all the time. My kidneys probably would have shut down from high blood pressure and all of that. Who knows how many medications I'd be on, or who knows what dose of medication I'd be on now. Fucking depression, anxiety. Holy crap, I didn't even talk about that. I can't even begin to tell you how glad I am not on depression medication anymore, anxiety medication anymore. I'm not having panic attacks that wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like who does that? I was so sick at those times in my life, so sick, making terrible choices, terrible lifestyle choices. I literally was killing myself with my lifestyle and my food. 100%, 100%. And for so many people, they're in denial about that. But I'm not, honey, because that's why I'm making this video, to share that with you. This was my life for so long. And so much of it is learned behaviors, learned habits, things that we carry over, these generational cycles. Because I will tell you, my entire family, pretty much every single person, is type 2 diabetic. They are overweight, or they were overweight until they got sick with type 2 diabetes. And a lot of people who get type 2 diabetes end up losing weight very rapidly, but then they look very sickly and unhealthy. So that actually started to happen to my dad. He was very overweight when he was younger, and then he developed type 2 diabetes and a lot of other problems, heart failure and a lot of other things. And actually, when he ended up getting towards the end of his life, he was kind of the thinnest that he had ever been, but it was because of, it was very unhealthy. It was because of a byproduct of the type 2 diabetes and the high blood pressure and the kidney and all the things that were going wrong inside of him. And that's more of what I teach is, the outside, you want it to look a certain way, right? But the shit that's happening on the inside is way more important than any of that. Way more important. It's lowering your blood pressure, lowering that circulating volume, helping your arteries and your veins to relax and to become nice and stretchy, not hard and constricted where they're all covered in goop and you're going to get a fucking clot and then have a stroke on it, right? There's so much work on the inside that we can do that is so much more important than just this makeup that we fucking put on our faces and the waist trainers that we try to pull up to shape everything and the fucking shoes that we try to wear. Again, I made a post about this about appearances. The appearances don't do shit for the things that are really happening on the inside. That's the shit that will kill you. Like I talk about, people try to put them waist trainers on. People try to do all the things. And I'm like, that does nothing for the fat that is building up around your organs, the stuff that will kill you. These outward things for appearances don't do anything for that. And so I wanted to share this story about myself and how I was able to reverse my heart failure and to get off of my blood pressure medications, to not be pre-diabetic anymore, to not have depression, to not have anxiety anymore. And it's a holistic approach that you take to caring for yourself. It's intermittent fasting. It's changing how you eat, how frequently you eat, what you're putting in your body. And up here too, this is part of your body, your brain. What are you putting into your mind, into your heart, into your spirit? All of those things go into having a total transformation of yourself. And it's still something that I work on every single day, every single day. Then that's another huge myth that it's hard for people to wrap their heads around, is that once you get to, they're like, oh, well, you lost 50 pounds, like you fine, like, you're done. Or they feel like once they get to a certain weight, like, oh, that's it. You got to maintain that. And that's the downfall of so many people, because how many people watching this or listening to this right now have lost 20 pounds, have lost 30 pounds, have lost 40 pounds, only to have gained it all right back. It is absolutely something that you have to maintain. You have to work every single day, because you maintained being fat, honey. You surely did, by your behaviors, by your actions, by your habits, your environment. You absolutely maintained that weight and even gained more because you were doing a good job at it. You even gained more weight. So it's the same logic you have to apply to losing weight. Once you lose that weight, no matter what you do, no matter what you do. I got people writing me about cosmetic surgery, about taking fucking Manjaro and Ozempic and all the things. Whatever. I'm not here to hate on any of that. That's not what this video is about. This video is more about when you get to that certain point, you have to maintain. What lessons did you learn along the way? Because that's where a lot of those really quick fixes can be more damaging, because you achieved the results so quickly, but then you didn't learn anything along the way to maintain that. And that's why I really love my practice, because I teach clients how to maintain the habits, the mindset, the things that they need to do on the daily, each and every day, to maintain that. And it's a new way of thinking. It's work that you do have to do, because it did take work to gain weight, whether you realized it or not. It 100% did. You just became so accustomed to it. It became a habit. You didn't have to think about it. Well, we want you to get the same way about when you lose the weight and you get to that weight that you are comfortable at and you want to stick around. Same thing. We want those routines. We want that environment. We want things to become a habit where you don't have to even think about it. It just happens for you on the daily. And that's the point that you want to get to. But it does take work. And it does not happen overnight. And it is something that your ass got to do every single day. Absolutely. Until the day you fucking die. You absolutely have to do it. And your behaviors, your actions, what you're doing is going to determine how long you about to live. It absolutely is. So it's the things that you're doing on the daily. And so many people just think that, well, I lost 20 pounds. I'm good. No, you got to work to maintain that 20-pound weight loss. Because if you don't, you will absolutely 100% end up right where you were and even gain more weight. It absolutely will happen. And I think that's what people look at me and they're like, oh, she lost weight. She fine. It's so easy for her, blah, blah, blah. It's like, fuck that. It is hard. It is hard. I do not lie. I don't play. I'm not even playing. It is really difficult because so much of my life I lived overweight. I lived a certain way. I did things a certain way for so many years, so many fucking years of my life. And then now adding on top of it, I'm 41 now. Hormones are changing. I'm done having kids. So it's time for this next chapter of my life. And what am I going to do with it? What do I see for myself? How am I going to take care of myself now? And so these are all the things that I make videos and talk about and post about because it's my real life that I share, but it's also my lived experience that I've had, the lessons that I've learned, all the experience that I've had in healthcare over 2 decades now, honey. That's what I teach and that's what I pass along. And it's I live it like you're looking at me right now. Like I share through social media all the things of my life and of my kids and my family, how my husband and I, we really are. We're breaking those generational cycles, those patterns of disease, of unhealthy eating, of unhealthy weight. We want our kids to be active. We want our kids to eat a certain way and to carry that with them once they leave here. That's what we want for them. We always want our kids to do better than us. I'm getting a little bit emotional about this. So I share today because I want you to get to know me a little bit better is the first thing. And it is 100% possible for you to save your life, to defy the odds, to break the cycle when it comes to your health. It absolutely is. And especially if you're a woman who is over 40, honey, I don't even got to tell you. Your body's changing. You tired, you hurting, your hormones are going crazy. You feel like you're a teenager again because you got because you mad one minute, then you happy, you in love, all the things. It's our bodies changing. And it just takes a little bit of a different approach to how you care for yourself and to acknowledge that and to love yourself, whatever it might look like. The fucking stretch marks from all the kids that you've had, you know, the scars from when you fell down when you were little and all the things. It's to love and embrace all of those things, but to be healthy, but to be physically active, to not have high blood pressure, to not be type 2 diabetic, to be able to reverse that, to get off of medications. Because for any medication, oh my gosh, this is one thing that I teach all of my nursing students too, because I'm a professor as well. So I have nursing students. And I always tell them, like when you're giving medications to a patient, those are drugs. You are essentially poisoning your patient. Anytime you take a prescription medication, you are poisoning your body because it's not something that is native, that is natural to your body. So anytime you give a medication, you need to assess. And so we talk about assessments. But it's the same thing for yourself. I would never want you to be on medications that you don't need to be on. But so much of traditional healthcare pushes medications onto people as a quick fix, as well. You don't want to do the work, so let's give you this pill. But the pills have side effects. Pills do things to your body. They absolutely do. That's why we run kidney function tests on people and we're looking at their kidney function and their lab work and all the things because we're giving them medications that could potentially be nephrotoxic or hepatotoxic, right? Toxic to your liver, toxic to your kidneys. That's what we're doing. And so that's why we run lab work and blood work. And if you get prescribed certain medications, they're like, oh, well, you have to come back in 6 months to get your labs drawn. You have to do this and this. Because those are drugs, they're poisoning your body. We just want to make sure we're not poisoning your body too much. It's crazy. And this is what so much of traditional healthcare has turned into. And I'm not saying that there isn't a time and place for medications because I did intensive care, critical care for over a decade. And there is a time and a place for medications, absolutely, without a doubt. But so often for lifestyle-based diseases, for preventable things, we're just prescribing medications to do the dirty work for us because we don't want to do the hard work. And it's a shame that it's come to this and why we have such an epidemic of obesity and type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. It's absolutely tragic. And it's tragic how it is being spread to our children now. And just seeing entire families becoming obese, becoming diabetic. It's insane. So you definitely can be the one to set the example for your family, for your loved ones, to defy the odds, to break the cycle. Why not? Why not it be you? Of course. You fucking done everything else. And most of the women that I work with are the high achievers, are the ones that have went to school, got the degrees, that run the business, that do the thing. They're the leader. They're the boss. That they got a whole fucking alphabet after their name, and that's not even enough for them. Like, those are the kind of women that I vibe with. High performers, high achievers, top of the top. Why not? You've been the first in everything else, so why not this? But sometimes we just need some help. We need some guidance. We can't always do it on our own, and nor should you have to. That's why you look to an expert to help you, to guide you through this. And that's what I do with my practice. That's why I work privately with clients, because you do need that expert advice, so that outside set of eyes, because you're too busy doing everything else. So you need somebody to get you the result that you need and show you the most efficient, expedient way to do it without all that other bullshit, honey. I'm not about any of that. And if you watch my videos and you get to know me, you know I'm not like that. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is and break it down to you. I absolutely will, because there's no room to be fake. There's no room to have the fluff. There's no room to tiptoe around things. When it comes to your life, I'm not tiptoeing about shit. If you need to do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to tell you need to do X, Y, and Z. Absolutely. So I hope today's video has been helpful for you, and let me know any takeaways or ahas that you've had from it. But I just wanted to share a little bit more about me, and I have something exciting coming out around Mother's Day that I cannot wait to share with everybody. And I'm going to start working on it tonight, actually. So I'm excited about that. But, if your health is on your mind and you want to make changes for your health, and your hormones are changing, and you got fat going where it didn't used to go no more, you got little pimples and little hairs, and you're like, I'm not a teenager no more. Your body is changing. It's your hormones. And there's nothing that you can do to stop it. But there are ways to optimize your health without a doubt. There's ways to optimize your health. There's a way to reverse things, to lose the weight, to feel better. So if you'd like to learn more about working with me privately, you want to have me as your doctor, then reach out, send me a message, say, Dr. Alex, I saw that video you did where you were talking about yourself and about, your weight and all of that. And I would love to learn more. I'd love to talk to you more. Sure. That's as easy as it is. Okay. So again, let me know if you have any questions, but I'm going to cut that off for today's episode and leave it there. And you know where to find me. So like I always say, for balanced life, just add spice. I'll catch you in the next